do a live reading, please let me know and welcome. If you're a returner, if you've been with me since 2020, 2021, also let me know. Let me know where you're tuning in from. My name is Cami. I'm an intuitive life coach, intuitive channel, and I used to do these live every single week back a few years ago. And recently, I would just say recently, in the past 2 years, my intuition has been guiding me to do these more often. So my intention here is to be with you weekly, like I did before, because it's so necessary right now. So I'm going to do a couple things to kind of set the tone, set the stage here. And you can do a couple things as well before we get into our intuitive readings and our card readings. First thing I like to do is make sure that I have water because water is high vibrational. Also, just a reminder to stay hydrated. Next thing I like to do, if you have any crystals or candles that you like to light, that kind of sets the stage, sets the space. I also like to use essential oils that kind of calms me down, grounds me, and gets me connected. So if you want to do any of those things, you can. It's definitely not necessary, but that's what I'm going to do as we begin. All right, Megan says, first time from Northern Michigan. Welcome. I'm actually in Northern Virginia right now. Catherine says, first time from the UK. Welcome. Beautiful. Michelle, first time from San Diego. Hello and welcome. I still live in San Diego. All right. So here's what we're going to do together. First of all, I'll just let you know how I do my readings because probably everybody on here does them differently. And then we'll tap in and do them together. And the purpose of this is just to be connected, open-hearted, to be able to, I call it like collaborative heart space energy. And what I know to be true is that anytime we gather, right, with open heart, with positive intention, feeling into the vibration of love and peace and optimism, we actually amplify that frequency in the world. So I think it is more important, more so than ever. We've seen things go on in the US, we've seen things go on globally, and we want to hold that vibration of love because it is the most powerful vibration in the universe. Oh, Linda, she is a returning viewer. Great to see you too, Linda. Only staying a little bit. I hope to see you again soon. Yes, I plan to be back again next week. So here's what you can do to stay connected with me. Go ahead and follow me here on Insight Timer. And then I do have a group here on Insight Timer as well. It's called Inner Peace Pathway. And so you can join that group to stay connected, and I'll typically engage with you all. You can ask me questions. You can request specific things if you want me to go live on. It's just a great way to stay connected, and then I'll post in there when I'm about to go live. So here's what we'll do today. I'm going to start by connecting with the energy. As an intuitive, I am claircognizant, which means I have divine knowing. Like I know the right things to say. I can feel into the energy, clairsentience. And so typically that's what happens is I'm going to say things or I'm going to feel or sense things. And then that just means that there's a message for you. When I do group readings, I'm typically going to pull 3 cards and you get to play along, you get to tap in, you get to decide which card feels like it's the correct card for you in this time. So as we begin, I'm going to go ahead and open up sacred space. And so if you are here and you're tuning in, you can just take a couple deep breaths, opening up that heart. We're calling in angels, guides, beings of light in the highest frequency of love, truth, and compassion to bring through messages for the highest good of all, bringing forth clarity, healing, love, trust, faith, and abundance in divine connection. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Okay. So as we begin here, I'm going to do a general read for the group. So I'm going to connect with, I use a dragon. Her name is Violet. She's a purple dragon. So I'm just going to connect with the energy field and read the energy first. Yeah, so the energy that I got here was like tired. I'm tired, I'm run down. Like, why are we keep doing the same things over and over again? It seems that those who are here, those who are gathered here on this live today, are wise. You're wise souls. You've done this before, you've been here before, and you're kind of like the wise sage that's looking around what's going on in the world, kind of like, what are you kids doing? So there is a little bit of tiredness, but then there's a little bit of like frustration, a little bit of judgment. So let's just see what we need to tap in here to move forward. Okay, so they're saying that the wise sage holds the frequency and energy of the true earth. Okay, let me just see what that means, the true earth. So the true earth is like the purest essence of abundance, divine abundance. Like when the earth was formed, when the earth was made, like the actual abundance and like all of the life forms on the planet and all of the synchronicity and the circle of life, everything was very much in harmony. And as humans came along, we kind of disrupted that frequency, disrupted that vibration. So here it's giving very much like indigenous ancient culture of being with the land, being with the earth, honoring the seasons, honoring the moon, very much getting back to the basics of when we were hunter gatherers, of when we lived off the land, when we lived in community. So you're holding the vibration of the true earth, the connected ones, the ones that lived off of the earth, lived off the planet, and lived with this true sovereign nature of having an open heart. So the simplest form in which you can be a demonstration of this is the way that you show up in community with your loved ones, with your family, in community, even if it's with your job, even if you don't love your job. It's the way that you hold that frequency of interconnectedness, of harmony, of peace. So that is the message here for us today. All right. See if there's anything else before we go into our card pulls. Okay, and then just to address the exhaustion, they're definitely saying that we're supposed to be sleeping more in this time. So you may notice that you're sleeping 9 or 10 hours and to not judge that, just to know that the upgrades, the vibrations that are needed, we need more time for sleep. So don't judge yourself for that. This is not the time to like challenge yourself, push yourself. It's not the time to like skimp on sleep. They're saying that sleep is very important. It's very restorative. Okay. All right, so here we're going to go into card pulls. So if you're here with me live, we are going to do 3 cards. So I want you to just kind of tap into the energy of card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. And if you're feeling like you want card 1, go ahead and type that in the comments. I'll connect with you and we'll pull the first card for you. If you want all the cards, you can say that. If you want a combination of cards, you can say that as well. And we will begin once we see some comments coming through. And I'm just going to slow down here, pause, check in, and take another sip of water. Mm. So there is another message coming through here about how we are all intuitive when we slow down. So reminding you that if you're on this app, if you're watching, if you're tuning into others, you are also intuitive. You have the ability to tap in. Okay. Catherine says 3, Linda says 2, Megan says 2, Diana and Irene say 3. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to pull the energy of card number 1, and we're going to start there. If that doesn't feel like it's your card, I want you to just let the message wash over you and also just hold space for anybody who might be tapping into the message of card number 1. So I'm going to start by pulling from the deck Divine Abundance. This is one that I feel is a really grounding deck. And it also usually is connecting us back to spirit, really connecting us back to what is important. All right. Card number 1. And yawning is good. Yawning is actually a nervous system release. So if you're noticing any yawning going on for you, it's actually good. Any stretching. Oh, kind of just using this time to rest and reset. Okay. Well, there it comes. It flew right out of the deck onto the floor. Let me grab it. All right. So I'm going to show you the card. It says Limitless. Card says Limitless. And it's basically this mandala with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs of hands around it. Each pair of hands is holding a butterfly inside. And this beautiful mandala is showing this interconnectedness. It has a lot of blues in here. So as I interpret this card, there is a connectedness to sitting in circle, right? There's a connectedness to sitting in circle. The other thing that comes up here is butterflies. Butterflies go through a transformative period in which they go into the cocoon, they basically liquefy, they come out as a completely new and different structure, and their lifespan is relatively short when we compare it to human lifetimes. But there's so much beauty in this transformative process. So this is that reminder that number one, it is that reminder that life is short, is what we do is purposeful. what we do with each day matters. So I think sometimes when we're looking out into the world, we think what we do doesn't matter. We're just one person. This is the reminder that the beauty that you bring to the world does matter. The hope, the love, the compassion that you bring really does matter. And reminding yourself that that is, if you want to make big changes, that is a way to start, is by tapping into those energies. And then the next thing that comes up here is the blue is very significant of emotions. So like we're going to have lots of emotional waves. We're going to feel anxious 1 minute, we're going to feel sad the next minute, we'll feel guilty the next minute, and just allowing yourself to ride on these emotional waves. So what we're learning as humans now as we expand into higher consciousness is to hold space for all these feelings, all these emotions, and to be with them and to not try to change things. And when you can be with emotions, it really is just you grounding. Again, back to that like true earth vibration. It's like, yeah, the earth goes through phases. The animals, right, go through cycles of life, right? The tree, the leaves fall, they go back to the earth, they decay, and they die, and they go back into the earth and they offer nutrition. So it's really like to stop judging our emotional states and to start just being with our emotional states. And then here is the message that actually is written on the bottom of the card. Really like this one. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. So I'll say it again. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. Right? And here's this card if you want to screenshot it. It's very beautiful. And my interpretation of this right now for us is that this just opens sacred space for us to come together. And the reminder of your emotion not being the enemy. I've seen human emotions really become activated in the past 4 years, and that is purposeful. That is purposeful uh, to allow those emotions to come through. All right, let's move on to card number 2. All right, I'm just going to clear the energy of deck number 1, card number 1, and then I'm going to check into card number 2. So Michelle and Linda and Megan are on card number 2. All right, I'm just going to check in, read the energy for this card, see what I have. First thing I have coming up here is a little bit of anxiousness, anxiety in the heart, like a fear of doing it right, a fear of there's people pleasing coming up here too. There is like this worry of people in your life judging you. How are you going to be perceived? And there's like this question of like, what do I do next? Very much focused on like, I can get it wrong and I don't want to make a mistake. So let's just see what this next card has for us for card number 2. And for this one, I'm pulling from the Muse, which is a tarot deck. Really love this one. All right. And then the way I always pull cards is I'm going to interpret the card for you as I pull it. So let's just address what those gathered here need to know about this season and time, about right now, today, what to do, how to think about these decisions. All right. This card is Eight of Voices, and it's very black. And I just want you to sit with the imagery and then I'll interpret it for you. So what I get here, so this is giving like bondage, stuckness, like programmed. This is giving like I've been programmed, right? Kind of like I've been programmed, like what I see is the only thing I can believe, and kind of feeling trapped in old paradigms, like old jobs, old relationships, and even like the narratives, right? Like social media, the news feed, like whatever program, even programs in terms of movies and TV shows. Like we all exist within a structure of programming, like within the matrix that says, this is the way it is. You should be afraid of this. This is the way you're supposed to behave. And so this is showing like being trapped. However, the way I interpret this is like this person has a blindfold on, right? They have a blindfold on in where they're like taking in this information, like part of the matrix, part of the programming, but then the eyes are looking up. So what I see here is this is divine channeling. Like this is connecting to when you don't know what's going on, when you don't know what's up or down or sideways. It is like literally looking through your blindfold and connecting to source, connecting to spirit, connecting to the divine. And Channeling, if you're not familiar with channeling, channeling is that divine connection. So, and I'm an intuitive channel. I've been through a channeling school, but everybody is a channel. And when you think about channeling, it really is, you might channel artwork, or you might channel a message for a friend, like something that's positive and encouraging. You might channel through writing, or creating something, or woodworking. But really what this is tapping into the one mind, tapping into the conscious field, tapping into the frequency of one, the one source, love, how we are all a spark of light. So this is your invitation to create sacred space for your channeling practice. And what does this mean? I find one of the easiest ways to tap in is in the morning. You wake up, you're already in that hypnotic state, right? You're in that hypnotic, half awake, half asleep state. You're in theta state. You're able to tap in to the conscious field. You're able to potentially remember some of your dreams. Sit down with your journal and tap in. Tap in and ask yourself, what is love? What is the message of love today? What is the message for me today? And allow your hand to just write and write and write. And notice that there's positivity, there's hope, there's faith, there's belief in miracles that comes through. And notice this is also just that remembrance of looking at what you're looking at, being aware of what you're looking at. So I'm really glad that you're here on Insight Timer, because it is a beautiful app. It's one of my favorite apps to be on, because it is setting the intention for positive vibration, positive frequency, and moving forward. Some of these other apps, right? They're just proposing fear. So this is your reminder of what you're looking at. What are you tapping into? Okay. I'm going to pause here for a moment. I'm going to read a little bit from the book, and let me know how this lands for you. C says, are you talking about me? Yeah, probably. Right? I'm tapping into the energy of what's here. And I always believe there's something for everyone here. So take the energy, take the intention into the day with you. Okay. This is what it says. Feeling stuck or bound, believing you have no choices, and the empowering or disempowering effect of belief, right? Your belief is the thing that's going to get you here. Okay. This is what this says. The universe whispers gently, you're not stuck. Look at the options around you. She slows her breathing and her blindfold falls away. She opens her eyes, watching the sun peek over the mountain behind her, seeing that she was stuck in a web of her own making, always able to leave anytime she wanted to. So, this is your invitation that you can get yourself unstuck by the seeking of the divine consciousness, by seeking of those answers that are already within you. Yeah, Michelle says pretty spot on. Yes. And that's why I'm here to do readings, because I know that this is what's happening in the energy. I was there too. I'll just share with you personally, right? Some of you haven't seen me for a while. Some of you are new to me. For the past year, I went through this state of depression. I went through this state of like just not being able to figure it out. Okay, P says it brings up shame. Okay, so let's just be with that. You can take a couple deep breaths and we can transmute that shame by sending it love. And remembering that even just by saying I'm feeling the shame, what that does is it frees you, because shame really wants us to hide. It wants us to stay in the dark. And I think that's what was happening for me, is like I wasn't showing up to do intuitive readings because I was having such a hard time personally. And I've decided I've got to stay showing up, right? I've decided to get support and help, to get coaching, to get somatic releasing, to get breath work, like whatever it is. Like I've decided to not give up. And I bring this message to you as well because I'm a life coach. Doesn't mean life is easy for me. I'm still a human. Things still happen. So there's no reason to feel shame. But if you're here, you're seeking. You're seeking the next level. So if you're seeking the next level, shame is the lowest vibration. So we want to seek up to, like, feeling like angry, disturbed, like I don't want to stay here. I don't want to stay stuck here. And that anger is kind of like righteous anger, like I don't want to stay stuck here. I'm going to seek out the thing that's going to help me. So even the fact that you're here means that you're seeking out. This is the next step. This is the next thing that's going to help me. And this needs to be done every day, every single day, right? You wake up, you put on a meditation, you do your journaling, you do your breath work, your workout, like whatever it is. You drink your good water, you do your green juicing. Like if to be human is to be in the so I think it's like part fight and part surrender, right? It's like surrender to the divine, but then it's like I'm going to keep showing up for myself. I'm going to keep showing up for humanity. I'm going to keep showing up for love. And sometimes it's harder than others. Like some days are harder than others, some seasons are harder than others. But we can move out of shame and fear and judgment, and we can move right up into courage, courage and willingness. And if you're here, it means you're willing. Okay. That card left a really warm feeling in my heart. So we started with anxiety. And then as we felt through that, to me, it opened up the heart space. So you can let me know how that card felt for you. All right, we're going to move on to card number 3. It's going to clear the energy of card number 2. And we'll see who's on card number 3. So we have Diana with card 3, Irene with card 3, Catherine with card 3. Beautiful. Let me know that you're still here if you're card 3. All right. Take another sip of water. One of the lessons I've been learning is to slow down. So my throat sometimes get a little raspy, and it's that reminder for me to slow down and take some water. And my lesson this past year and a half has been to not push myself so hard, to just listen to my body. Okay, Catherine's here. Beautiful. Irene's here. Great. All right, let's see what's here in the energy. All right. For you all, I get this resistance to feeling the emotions. I get this like, I don't want to feel it. It's too much. I can't feel it. I don't want to feel it. I just want to like ignore it. I want to pretend it's not there. I want to push it down. And I find that this is very normal if you have been like, let's just say you had a hard life, right? Like you had a hard life, you had a hard childhood, like you had to be a survivor, you had to like keep it together. That was my reality growing up. And so we tend to like feel hard, right? Like I want to feel hard, strong, strength. But then there becomes a season of cracking open. There comes a season of opening that heart, like creating that safe space for you to process and feel all those feelings. So this is your invitation to seek out healing, right? With your own healing, you don't need somebody else to heal you. You can heal yourself. But oftentimes it's useful to seek out a Reiki practitioner or maybe a group meditation in community or a breath work community or shaking, right? Like there's TRE, like shaking or therapy. So this is just your invitation that the stuff that's stuck, that's from their past, it's from past relationships, breakups, getting fired, not having a good childhood. It's your time. Like it's your time to heal it. It's your time to be with it. And the more energy you use to resist it and you keep holding it down and you keep pretending it's not there, like the more it's just kind of dragging you backwards. So the invitation is lean into the feeling, opening up the heart space, being willing to feel it. That vulnerability, that open heartedness is actually where your power is found. You think it's going to be like, I need to stay strong. But the invitation is actually that's where your true divine power lies, is in the releasing and the letting go of the past. So that's what I'm feeling there in the energy. And let's just see what's here for you. There's this deep wound here of not being good enough, not feeling good enough. And then there's this seeking of external validation, really wanting others to tell you you're doing a good job, wanting to achieve things in the world. Okay, here's your card. Yeah. This is beautiful. I just pulled this card for myself the other day, so I resonate with this. This is the girl with the rainbow hair, and is the Ace of Voices. And we have this beautiful rainbow colored hair. We have this owl here. And then we also have this like clothesline with like different colored hangings on it, like paper hangings or cloth hangings. And we also have this like beam of light coming down through the hair and a mountain and clouds. So what comes here is the owl is coming through first as what this is giving is connection to ETs. And the reason why this is giving connection to ETs for me right now is because I'm watching Resident Alien. Have you ever watched that show? It's on Peacock, and I've watched it several times, and I find it very funny, and it's very charming. And so Resident Alien is about like this alien that comes down, and the show is like he's generally he's generally good is the vibration of this ET. But this owl to me is symbolic. It's symbolic of change and it's also symbolic of fear. So it really is like you are going to have to do something. You're going to have to face those things of your past. You're going to have to look within. You're going to have to self-reflect, and that can feel really scary. It can feel scary. It can be really challenging. But the owl, again, like speaking back to wisdom, the owl is very wise, very resilient. Uh, it gives like, you know how the owl can turn its head like 360 degrees, like it sees everything from all perspectives. So this is also giving like this chance and opportunity to take a step back, to see it from all perspectives, to maybe consider somebody else's perspective, their point of view, and also to consider what if everything you've been taught is wrong? Like, what if you didn't really need to go to college? What if you didn't really need to get that degree? What if this isn't really the right job for you? Like, it really is asking you to throw everything you've ever learned on its head and say, is this what I really want? Is this a relationship I really want to be in? Or am I just here because it like looks good? Is this the job I want to be in? Or I'm just doing it because like that's the degree I got? So this to me is like breaking free. This is also really reminiscent of we're in Aquarius season right now. And Aquarius is just like the rebel, the I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna dye my hair rainbow. So this is also the invitation for you to do something real, right? Assessing your real life, but also symbolic. Like maybe you do want to dye your hair hot pink to remind yourself that you get to make these choices. You're actually not stuck in one path. You don't need to get it perfect. You don't need to get it right. Let's see here. See if there's anything else on this card that I want to bring up. Okay. So this clothesline here with the cloths on it, to me, what this is giving is retreat, right? Like going to another land, a retreat, connecting to other people in community. So this is an invitation to go to a retreat, either locally or if you can, going to a different country. Like if you're thinking about going to a retreat, this is offering yes, like go to the retreat. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Like go within, really find out what you want, what you're meant to be doing, and getting away from all of the other voices that were in your childhood, that were in your past, that are even in your current life. I find that you probably go to a lot of different people to ask what you should be doing, and this is the time for you to be looking to yourself and you decide what you're supposed to be doing. All right. And then I'm going to read this card, a little bit of this card, because I really love this one. Okay, here's what it says. It's all about clarity. Find clarity in thought and seeing. As new standings are flowing down to you now, not only will they be bolstered by logic and reason, but they will also be heavily dripped in divine knowing. They will help you see the path ahead of you with the most beautiful lenses, the absolute truth. Discovered clarity, a calm that cuts through clouds. The perfect truth illuminates confused veneer that shrouds. This is all about bringing your own clarity, not having to ask others, just making decisions based on what you want, what feels right for you. This is also an invitation for you to seek out your human design. If you don't know your human design, it's also a really good time to get into your study of human design. That's going to help you understand the way that you make decisions as a human. All right. C says I needed to hear this. Thank you. You're so welcome. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to pause here again. I'm going to let any comments come in. We'll wrap this up in the next 10 minutes, but I like to, if you have any other specific questions or you let me know how this reading went for you. And then we'll close out this space today. And I'll share this with you. So I was kind of judging myself for not doing readings for a while. And then I was telling myself, because I was feeling depressed, like low vibrational, low energy, I was telling myself like my intuition left me and I can't connect anymore. And that's not true. Our intuition is always there with us. It's even with us when we're feeling down, when we're feeling anxious, like it's always there. So what I found is that I've decided to just start showing up for more intuitive readings. And the more I show up, the more I connect, the more that muscle gets strengthened. And it always taps me right back in. I always feel great. I always tap right into the channel. So this is that invitation for you as well. Like if you've gotten off course with your spiritual practice, don't beat yourself up. Just get right back into it. It's going to be fine. Like you don't need to like judge yourself anymore. So really this self-judgment is one of the biggest things that holds us back. This perfectionism, thinking we need to be a certain way. That's all what's holding us back right now. Yeah, Diana says thank you for the impulses. You're welcome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close us out and we'll do some energy cleansing and clearing. And then would love it if you found value from this to go ahead and give me a follow on here. And again, join my group. My group is called Inner Peace Pathway. It's right here on Insight Timer. I'll drop it in here as well. That's just a really great way to stay connected and to request things because I do teachings, I do readings. I also do breath work, but I have not taught breath work on Insight Timer yet. So join me here on in Inner Peace Pathway, the group. And then if you feel called, if you felt like this was valuable to you, you can hit the donation button. I think it's at the top of your screen. I love coming on Insight Timer because they do offer donations, whereas a lot of the other platforms, they just want you to show up for free. And this is my full-time business. This is what I do. So any donations I always love and appreciate, and I always will respond back with gratitude and thank you. And I'll give you a nice response from that as well. But let's go ahead and close out the energy. I like to just do a deep breath, and I'm just energetically sending your energy back to you, cutting and clearing any cords, any attachments. Oh, and I just kind of do it all around the body. All right, that's the first thing. Next thing we do is protection. So I'm just going to take the hands on the top of the head and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's shields up. It just shields up. You can do as many as you want. And then lastly, I do one more bubble. So I imagine bringing in divine love, pink, golden, white light, coming down to the crown in this big bubble. And I actually like to use my hands the whole way around my body. I'm going to go up around the body, hands up, breathing in, filling this bubble, going the whole way around, about 5 to 6 feet outside of the body, coming down under the feet, and then closing it off underneath. So now I'm imagining I have this bubble of light and love all around me. And any low energy, anything that is kind of icky is just going to bounce off. It's going to be transmuted. But the love, the divine love flows through me. So nobody's going to be able to access my energy or drain me. That divine love is protection, it's transmutation, and it's also limitless. It's infinite. So I'm never going to feel exhausted by going out into the world. So that's just a reminder to do that as well. To remember when you're going out into the world to make sure that you're divinely aligned. You have taken your time in your morning routine and your evening routine to set up your energy, to cleanse your energy, and to really, really take care of yourself. Thank you so much for the donation, Catherine. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And I do plan to be here live every week. Thank you, Michelle, for the donation. I appreciate it so much. And what I'll do is I will get us booked in weekly. I'm probably going to be doing these on Thursdays. So I think I'll be able to keep them on Thursday. So just tune in, give me a follow here, and I would love to see you back every Thursday. As much as I'm able to show up for you, I will. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.